Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel. As part of a spate of recent delivery product unboxings, I got in Dice Throne's Santa vs. Krampus and Dice Throne Adventures, but from Roxley Games. In this video, we're going to crack both open and see what we've got in here. Let's get Dice Throne Adventures out of the way for the time being, and we will start off with Santa vs. Krampus. Helps if I turn on the overhead light. There we are. Of course, it's a dice throne. Don't let his festive cheer, jolly smile, and mugs full of eggnog lull you into a false sense of security. For those on the naughty list, you better watch out, you better not pout, Santa Claus is coming to pound. This holiday season, Krampus brings bad tidings and coal to all who have misbehaved. And if he wasn't rotten enough on his own, he's also scavenged through abandoned gifts and brought to life an army of minions. These rejects love to support Krampus in causing great discomfort and pain. Delightful. We had our experience with Krampus in Final Girl during Advent of the Phoenix. Anyway, let's crack this open and see what we've got in here. We'll open the box and see what we've got in here. Easy does it. I did just trim my nails. There we are. We've got our rules of play with no earthly... Okay. I was going to say with no earthly idea why, but it looks like there are tokens in here that we'll need to sort out. So we'll look at Krampus first. As usual, the fold-out style for Krampus and his abilities. Very glossy, but nothing that can be done there. Then we've got his character sheet. Back of that. His dice. His cards, which, unless my eyes are playing true, well, some of these are... I'm betting not all of them are going to be foil, but some of them look like they're going to be. These are presumably the rejects, his combat point dial, and his health dial. I'll go ahead and punch the tokens out for Krampus. I'm not going to thumb through the rulebook, though, because we've seen the Dice Throne rulebook several times by this point. So we'll figure out what is what. The coal is for Krampus. Let's see, these will probably go in here. The gifts are his as well. And of course, his standee, which we'll put that in with the cards. All right. That'll go back in there. We can get that out of the way for the time being. And then, of course, we've got Santa. His ability, his fold-out sheet, his ability reference. Looks like everything else is his. Combat point dial, health, dice, and the cards. Again, not all of them are likely to be foil. Then we'll punch out his abilities. Everything else is for him. Got the cheer tokens, one of which was just about to go flying before I caught it. And the eggnog. Okay. We can put everything back. The punch board as you can see, is empty on both sides, so we'll throw that out. As I mentioned, we're not going to thumb through the rules. Actually, there's a little art inside the box, which is pretty cool. I don't think most of the Dice Throne boxes have that in there. Another great Christmas-themed game during Advent of the Phoenix. You know what? I'm going to just take this out of the plastic. I don't need to keep the plastic. We'll get that out of the way. And then we will take a look at Dice Throne Adventures. Hoo boy, this is heavy. Dice Throne Adventures is a genre-bending cooperative expansion to the hit game Dice Throne. Simply grab a friend and any of your Dice Throne heroes and delve into randomly generated worlds, beautiful environments, intense boss battles, an innovative hack-and-slash looting system, and non-destructive legacy elements. I do not mind that in the slightest. Of course, there is to note that this box contains an expansion. One or more Dice Throne heroes are required to play, like the two we just cracked open. But, speaking of cracking open, let's crack this open and see what we've got in here. I'm going to leave that blade open because I've got a few more product unboxings I'm hoping to get to tonight. I am also working on the prime rib right now for Mystical Munchies. So that is still pending at this point. We need to turn the box over so we can lift the lid off and see what we've got in here. Unlike the rule books for Dice Throne, this we will thumb through when we're done here. We've got the advertisement for everything in there. A campaign scoring sheet, which I'm hoping I can find more of these, because I don't want to just use the two. Yep, okay. So there's a link on there to print more copies of that. We've got our punch board, which as usual I'm not going to pull out until I'm ready for it. And we're starting to get into inserts. Probably a token store. It feels like this is... No, it looks like it's actually just the one. So we've got all of our cards, tiles and such in here. And probably our enemies, if I had to guess. I'm not going to go through absolutely everything because these unboxings are usually just intended as a quick glance in the box to give me an idea of, okay, what am I getting myself in for? Let's see, we can put that there. Those will go there. We'll bring the rule book in shot and we'll give that a quick thumb through. We'll zoom in on this, and we'll give it our cursory thumb through. Okay, load them in the tray according to the the diagram. That's convenient. We've got boss boards that are probably trifold boards. How to set up for campaign. Portal Crawl. Portal Crawl minion battles. King's Hand. Boss battles, which are probably just group battles against a boss. Conclusion, loot chest and loot cards. Campaign conclusion, FAQ. Glossary. And status effects and tokens. Okay. So that should be fun to get into. That is everything in the box for Dice Throne Adventures and for Santa vs. Krampus. Now, I do have a few more product unboxings lined up on the channel, as you can see by the broadcasts I've set up, so stay tuned to the channel for those. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, Take care, everyone.